Some people find this place by accident. Others come back even when something in them says not to. If you're hearing this again, it means you stayed when most people don't. That matters. The signal doesn't stay active on its own. It needs someone listening. So if you're here right now, this part of the story is yours. The transmission is live. Let's continue. You weren't meant to stay this long. That was the first thing Elias understood, even before anyone explained it. Most people felt it the moment they turned onto the road. Their thoughts slowed, their breathing changed, radios crackled, and then went quiet. No panic, just a quiet, overwhelming sense that they didn't belong there. Almost everyone turned around. Elias didn't. The radios died at exactly 6:17. Not one by one, all at once. Every frequency, every tower. Silence so complete, it felt intentional. Phones lost signal. Screens froze. Satellites blinked out in sequence. Like something was shutting doors one by one. Every signal except one. Inside the farmhouse, a small transmitter continued to hum. Steady, calm, like it had been waiting for the rest of the world to stop talking. Elias stood on the porch and felt the sound through the floorboards. He had heard it his entire life, but it had never sounded like this. It was sharper, focused. The first car stalled just after sunrise. Didn't crash. It didn't smoke. Didn't fail. It simply stopped. The engine was warm. The tank was full. The driver sat inside for nearly a minute, staring forward like he was trying to remember something important. Then he stepped out, looked around, and walked back down the road without ever looking at the house. Elias watched him disappear. He didn't follow. 3 days earlier, the animals had left. Not slowly, not in fear, all at once. Cattle broke fences without noise and walked in straight lines toward the horizon. Birds abandoned nests overnight. Even insects vanished, leaving the fields unnaturally still. That night, Elias couldn't sleep. The floorboards beneath his bed pulsed softly. Not like footsteps, not like machinery, like something shifting its weight. He pressed his ear to the floor and felt vibration instead of sound, deep and slow, repeating at uneven intervals. That was when he understood the house wasn't resting, was waiting. His father noticed, too. Elias knew, because his father stopped sleeping inside. He sat on the porch every night, watching the sky like he was waiting for a specific moment, counting something Elias couldn't see. On the third night, his father handed Elias the keys, not to the truck, to the responsibility. "You don't leave," he said. Then he did. The evacuation warning came later. Leave the area immediately. Do not look back. The message repeated without urgency or explanation. Like it already knew no one would listen. Elias turned the radio off halfway through. The warning wasn't for civilians. It was for him. At 1942, the sky stopped behaving like a sky. Not an explosion, not a storm. Alignment. Clouds bent inward against their own movement. Light folded into sharp angles that made it hard to focus for too long. The air thickened, turning green and metallic, pressing down on everything beneath it. Directly above the farmhouse, a distortion formed, perfectly centered, not random. Targeted? Elias felt the vibration beneath the house deepen, slower, stronger, like a breath being drawn in. The porch railing trembled under his hands. Windows hummed without rattling, as if sound itself was being restrained. The sky wasn't collapsing, was locking on. Satellites didn't register damage. They registered precision. Every system, still functioning, pointed to a single coordinate. This house, built over something that didn't experience time the way people do. They tried to destroy it. Once, Elias had read the reports. Fire, explosives, excavation. By morning, the ground had corrected itself. The house stood exactly where it had before, unchanged. That's when they learned the rule. If someone is inside, the lock holds. No one ever explained what the lock was holding. They didn't need to. Elias stayed, because the signal depended on it. Every time the transmission weakened, the vibration beneath the floorboards changed. Not violently, curiously, like something below was checking whether it had been abandoned. The sky only burned when the house was empty. That wasn't theory. That was recorded. The van by the fence hadn't moved in hours. Frost crept across its windows, even though the air was warm. Electronics failed the closer anything got to the house. Sound thinned. Elias noticed even his thoughts slowing when he stood near the front door. That wasn't fear. That was interference. Inside, the house felt heavier now, like gravity worked differently between the walls. Elias moved carefully, listening. The transmitter hummed louder, syncing with the pulse beneath the floor. He realized then it wasn't sending anything outward. Was confirming presence. Something above was listening. Elias stepped fully inside. As the transmitter flickered, the vibration stopped. That had never happened before. The house went silent. Not peaceful, empty, like a sound had been muted at the source. The transmitter crackled once and shut off. Elias froze. Something beneath the floorboards shifted. Not slowly, purposefully. The floor creaked once. Dust fell from the ceiling. The walls flexed, then went still. Elias felt pressure behind his eyes, like something was testing how aware he was. The thing beneath the house wasn't reacting to the signal failing. It was reacting to him. The rules were changing. Outside, the sky flared brighter. The distortion tightened. Elias backed away from the center of the room, trying to remember everything his father never explained. The symbol beneath the floorboards, the reason no one ever stayed alone too long. The transmitter crackled again, then resumed, weaker, different. The vibration returned beneath the floor. Slower now, controlled, listening. Again, Elias understood. The signal wasn't a broadcast. It a test. And he had just triggered the next phase. If you're still listening, the transmission hasn't failed completely. That means Elias is still inside. That means the lock hasn't opened yet. This story doesn't end here. Can't, because the moment the signal stops for good, the house won't need a warden anymore. If you're still here, then the signal held. That means Elias wasn't alone. It means someone was listening when the rules changed. As long as someone returns, something stays locked. I'll continue the transmission soon. Till then, the signal remembers who stayed.